And even the person that invited you to that coding challenge was a script. It wasn't there was no human in the loop. So after you pass the coding challenge,
stop, stop, looking, stop, looking, stop, looking, stop, looking, stop, looking, stop, so we're walking around looking like a dangerous, walking around looking like we're dangerous. Oh yeah.
So I just want to say thank you for taking out the time to just come talk to us and teach us. I want you to give a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Tayo. I'm a software engineer focused on AI.
What did you want to do as a child and what are you doing now?
Good question. As a child, I wanted to become a doctor, like every other Nigerian child. Very actively pursuing that dream.
Wait, what made you want to be a doctor?
I don't know, it's like everyone wanted me to be a doctor, I guess. Life just happened. I just started coding and I just got interested in that and I just switched the whole 360.
Nice. So what got you into coding?
I was trying to get into like medical school in Nigeria. I couldn't get in. Even after meeting the cutoff mark, passing jam, doing everything, I still couldn't get in, and I started coding on the side and I was like, I might actually thrive in this thing.
Wait, so why couldn't you get in? Like what was the hindrance to you getting in?
They wanted money for placement, and even if I was sometimes above the cutoff mark, sometimes I was just on it, and I tried it for like 2 years writing jam. I was like, maybe this is not for me. So I switched over I started watching YouTube videos on coding, and I just switched.
So in school, what are the major classes that you took?
There were a lot. I think the major classes for me was the intro class. That kind of got me in because I've been doing it on my own, patch jobs here and there. But the intro class kind of made everything there was sense to the whole pattern. And after that, the algorithms and data structures class was really, really helpful. It made me understand a lot of things. Then my operating systems class. Then the other class are just additional attachments. So algorithms, intro, and operating systems.
Are you happy you switched to computer science or you still want to study medicine?
I'm so happy I didn't do medicine.
Why?
I don't know. I think I'll still be poor at this point. I mean, no. Okay, let me not put it that way. After moving here, I felt like if I was to be a medical doctor, I'll still be on the path to being a medical doctor right now. And it's such a long road, and I've lost so much time. I know, people in med school who are started way before I even got to freshman year of college, and they're still there. And before they break out to doing full medicine, it's going to be a long time from now.
So if you had a younger brother that's wanting to study computer science, what are 5 things you would tell him to do to be to get in or to be successful when he eventually gets in?
One, it's not going to be easy. There's but you have to be, but you can do it. There's it starts off easy, you begin to see the simple stuff, then it just takes you like that. So you just have to be ready for this steep learning curve. Because at some point it feels like you come to the class literally the following day and you have no clue what you're doing in that department. And yesterday you were doing just fine. You just get lost and you need the weekend to catch up, and sometimes you keep chasing the semester to the end. But the good thing is that you're not the only one. There's a lot of you like that. Trust me, in a class when I'm struggling, 70% of the time, most of the class is struggling. And that's always it. You're crying, but you're crying with other people. You get, it's you're happy that they're sad with you. I mean, not to be, be like a villain, but sometimes you get out of the class and they tell you that, the average was 40%, and you're 41, and you're
at least I got 41.
I got 41 out of 100. The average was 40 or 39. Trust me, I've been in exams, so it's like that. Everybody has their strengths. You just have to find yours. Some classes I was bamboozled, and some other classes I was thriving when the smartest kids were also struggling. So I think you would find out what your strength is. It's operating system, cloud, if it's even if it's writing documentation, as some people would say, or anything, you just have to find your strength and play to your strength. Third one is I would say don't give up. One other one I would say is that it may look hard and impossible right now. The way I motivate myself is true. I see the money at the end of the road. Like, trust me. Like, if you're motivated by money, like, trust me, you're in the right major, because you'll make it. But just know that the full time, when you actually start working, it's not as like it's not even 1/5 as intense as the way you go through school.
How can you land a job when you graduate? Like a very good job. Like what did you do that got you a job, your first job?
It's counterintuitive, but I'll just say when you're in a computer science program, your goal should not be to get out. I mean, everyone's goal is to get out of college, right? Graduate. But like your goal in computer science should be you need to get out with what you want. So what I'm trying to say is that I always tell people, like, that summer class, please do not take it. You are only hurting yourself in the long run.
Really? Why?
Because things in summer classes are like, compressed. So there's a lot of juice you're missing. Two, try and get an internship. No matter, like, if you have an internship, do it. And even if it means delaying your semester by one, do not rush to graduate. Like, try and do as many internships as you can. Try and get into that internship, even if it means working as a bug fixing person in some shop close by your school. Just get something on your resume. Just fatten that resume. That resume should be like a cow. Just feed that resume, because all you can do after you graduate is just literally 2 lines. BSc in computer science or masters in computer science at XYZ university, period. Doesn't matter. At some point no one even cares how much time you spend there. But just one summer internship alone gives you like 5 or 6 bullet points, even if it's at a no-name shop. Because I see a lot of my my peers who rush to go through school, and they just like come out of school and they're like bare, like nothing in their hand. Their hands are like empty, as opposed to those who try to laboriously go through internships or like any internship at all. And eventually everyone wants them, because no one wants to invest in something that hasn't started growing, right? Yes, that's true. If a student cannot get internships, walk into a faculty office, go and meet any random professor and tell him, I want to do research. That gives you content in your resumes.
Can you tell us where you work and how to get a job, in like how your job process was when you were searching?
I'm a software engineer focusing on AI, with a focus on AI at Microsoft. My job search was atypical. Like, I think like everyone else, I was interviewing like serially with a lot of other companies. Just, one thing that's very important is like persistence. You need to keep going. Like, I don't know, I think I probably applied to like over 500 companies. It's like, yeah, I probably applied to over 500 companies. But some, you get a lot of like, positive like feedbacks, and you get like some even like, some people like accept you to come work in their company. But I'll just say, if you know what you want, it's just like when you're applying for school. There's like schools that are really hard to get to. There's like safety schools, and there is schools that that with your credentials you can even get into. It's just the same thing with applying for jobs. I would say when you start applying for jobs, apply for the easy ones first.
So what was your first stage when you applied? Like, what did they do? Did they call you immediately, or they just waited for like months before they contacted you?
Okay, I'll just give like a general overview. It depends. So most companies, they first like reach out to you. Is either some companies reach out to me through email, like the recruiters are like, hi Tayo, I saw your profile, because I had done some research. But other companies, I applied to them in their portal. I had like this spreadsheet of like a bunch of schools. So you apply to them. Once once it gets accepted, you get like a coding challenge as a first round. Yeah, so you get it, you go to either HackerRank, there are like a bunch of them. Some companies will send you their own internal tools that they use, and they have like test cases and all. Or a bunch of other companies use HackerRank. Some others use CodePad or something like that, I'm not sure. So after that, you need to solve those questions. And then after you've solved that question, you begin to talk to a human. Your first coding challenge is with nobody. So you write the code to pass, right? HackerRank is like a platform that provides that. Like, they monitor you, they check you out and stuff like that. But this is all like, computer software, type of things. And even the person that invited you to that coding challenge was a script. It wasn't there was no human in the loop. So after you pass the coding challenge, computer program then sends the people who have passed, it sends their names to a bunch of recruiters. So you'll be like, hi, my name is Lucy Tayo, I'm going to be your recruiter. now you have a recruiter. Some people have recruiters right off the bat because they reached out to you. That person is going to follow you through the process. Some companies get like millions of applications a year. There's no way anyone is looking at that without some ways to like sieve through people who do not even know what they're doing. So it's just like automation. Automation is taking over a bunch of this process. Then you schedule a conversation. Then after you schedule a conversation, you get like a date for your coding interview. The recruiter speaks to an engineer or the engineering manager. Then after that, you start your coding interview. You do one coding interview, or sometimes two. Then they invite you on site. They fly you down to wherever the office is. Like in California, like in the case of Microsoft, they flew me down to Boston. And I had like a full day interview. It's like you go in the morning, you have like 4 full rounds of like 1 hour each with like breaks in between. They'll feed you. They're like, trust me, they'll treat you nice. You eat food, you see people. Then after that, then there's going to be a lot of you. We call it University Day. If you're looking for a job like in the industry, you would get, that special treatment. Like you come in, you're the only one. But if you're like in the university setting, they have a special day to bring in seniors, and that's when they all come. You get like 50 of you, sometimes 30 something, and you get to network.
But do you think that your school played a part in like you landing a job? Do you think choosing a school is very important?
Choosing a school is very important. It depends on, so there are multiple ways the school can help you. One is the career center. Some schools have a very good career day where like all these companies come in, Microsoft, Facebook, and all these other guys come in. But the school was very helpful in terms of preparation. But in terms of the school's reputation, it used to, I think it does still help. It gets you some level of, like, say, like credibility or credence. But I wouldn't say it helps you when they find that you're empty. Then no one can help you at that point.
Okay, so Tayo, do you have any last advice for people that are trying to be software engineers like yourself in Microsoft?
The advice is, I'll just say, keep working at it, recognize and let's say work towards getting to that company. And what I mean is that know the amount of work it needs. It's not impossible. You just have to keep at it. You have to keep doing it. And preparing for coding interviews, you have to know what you're heading for. It's something that it took me three years to get to Microsoft's level, because every summer you practice, come back again, practice, and you have to you've forgotten everything. Practice, come again. So at the end of the day, it's if you read cracking a coding interview, it's like I can't remember how long, but it's like a very long process. Like first month, the second month, that you can't prepare for it. If you have an interview in 2 weeks and you're not ready, you are not going to make it. There's no two ways about it. It's not like you cannot cram it in 2 weeks. Like if you're not ready, you can't. I mean, maybe it's gonna be really hard. You can, but most times when I have interviews, I'm ready to do it at that instant. You must be ready at that instant. So you need to be ready before you start applying. Otherwise, you just be slammed, and there's like this, what is called cool-off period, where you're not allowed to apply to the company for like 6 months. Some companies 1 year. So you don't want to waste your opportunities. You have to be ready before you start reaching out to them, because they'll come at you and they want 2 weeks. But realistically speaking, you need 6 months to prepare.
All of that. So I hope this helps you guys, and thank you so much, Tayo, for taking the time to talk to us and just teach us, basically. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just leave a comment down below and we'll get back to you. So thank you so much. Make sure you give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much, Tayo, and
thank you, Jennifer.
bye, guys.
Thank you for having me.